brilliant speed with vibrant service, vibrant broadband internet.
Hey, it's time for another Vibrant You here on KLFD, AM 1410, FM 95.9, when we prepare you to be vibrant. And, well, first you can prepare to be vibrant. Come on. It's just common sense that you can do that. All right, here we are, 10:31 here at KLFD. How's everybody doing today?
We're good.
Really good.
Yeah,
We're welcoming Bo back. He's had the last couple of weeks. He's missed the radio, and it's on his birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday.
I'm working on my birthday.
I'm a little surprised that nobody called it in this morning for the birthday and anniversary.
True, actually. Good point.
Oh,
I didn't.
not.
Disappointed.
Oh.
Because you could win cupcakes.
Cupcakes?
Yeah.
Really? How do you win cupcakes?
See,
You got me
he's
now.
in for food. He's in for
All
food.
about the food.
Yep, for sure.
Well, thanks, Randy, and welcome to another Vibrant You Live. I'm Nathan.
I'm Jane.
And I'm Bo.
So for those that missed the show last week on KLFD here, we talked about streaming services. We kind of focused on free streaming. You know, there's so much movies and shows you can watch for free. You don't have to pay for cable. You don't have to pay a lot of money. You can watch endless TV for free if you have an internet connection and a streaming device. We also kind of focused on back to football time, NFL, college, how you watch your Viking games or college games, whatever you're into. So if you kind of missed that and you're kind of curious on that those are available on our Facebook and YouTube page. This week we kind of with back to school, the curse word if you're a child. I always hated that phrase.
Yep.
It is back to school time. I know a lot of college students have already gone to school, and I think some schools have started and some start next week. But we kind of want to focus on online safety, especially around students and young kids and stuff like that, and just some tips and tricks on how to stay safe online.
Yeah, and the first thing we'll talk about here is making sure your computers or your tablets or your phones are all up to date on the most recent software. So if you don't quite know what that means, if you have a little 1 next to your settings and you have an Apple device, it's probably because you don't have the most recent software. And
if you keep ignoring that,
Yeah.
update your software, ignore, delay.
So why care? Why do we care about that?
So you want to make sure your device is up to date, because if there's a software update, most often it's not changing the way your phone works. It's maybe the company's identified that, hey, there's a weak point here, and so for our security, we're going to update everyone's devices. So that's really a software update's main purpose. So don't worry, your phone's not going to function completely different. It's just going to be a little bit more secure. So you don't have to check it every day, but every month or every couple months, check that. And you can also do automatic updates, so you don't have to worry about manually checking it. And the same can be said for your apps. So Facebook, Instagram, those social media platforms, same thing. If they have security breaches or want to update, you'll get a push notification that you want to update your Facebook or Instagram or whatever app that you're using. So just keep an eye on that. Make sure that's something that you're aware of. And then also, if you have a laptop or a desktop, make sure you have some sort of antivirus software. It's typically something you can share as a family. It's important to not get caught with viruses. You may not know you have one. Your computer may run super slow. So having antivirus is just kind of a good way to avoid that. And then everyone's favorite topic is passwords. So if you're not aware, everything needs a password right now.
Yeah.
And now it's really, a little bit longer and more
It probably
complex.
shouldn't be password.
It should
as
not
well.
be password.
If you
or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Shoot.
Or let me in.
Randy,
Now I got to change
he's
it.
got work to do.
Or or like Randy is awesome. Yeah, you're gonna have to change
Well, you
those.
could use that one if you want.
You can, yeah, but we want our passwords to be a little more accurate than that. So
Feeling the love today.
Wow, I'm feeling the heat.
yeah,
It's a burn.
so that's something that if you have a
We talk about bullying a little later in the show.
It's just a prelude into the bullying section. If you have like a fantasy football app and you have your banking app, probably don't have those passwords be the same, or don't have all your passwords similar. So, Jane can even talk about how, you have maybe a section where you can save passwords and how you keep them all in maybe one spot.
Yeah, you really utilize. There are a lot of programs that can back up your passwords. So Password Genie, Password Vaults that kind of keep records of all your passwords, because they recommend not making the same, but then it makes it really hard to remember them all.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So those are pretty nice. They usually are pretty secure. That's the one password you do need to remember for sure, is how to get into your password vault. That one you don't want to forget. And then it's also a good idea to have maybe one other person that has that password. So if you were unavailable or something happened to you, your loved ones, your family is not locked out to everything. There's someone else that can at least access some of that stuff.
Very important to share that.
Mm-hmm.
I just put my passwords in my safe, but that doesn't mean that's secure all the time.
There's no
either.
perfect system.
Right.
I mean, but at least you can help yourself a little bit.
Right. So parent controls, these are extremely important, and actually grandparent controls too. So if you decide that you want to do those, that's perfect. There's routers out there that allow you to limit access on certain websites, certain timelines. I know we have a coworker that when her kids don't do their chores, she goes online and she just shuts the internet off right there and there. And
on just their devices so that her internet still works. She's not punishing herself too.
Yep. And then there's phone apps like Aura, AURA, and Bark, BARK, that allow you to control on their phone. And I'm wondering if she has those. So I wonder if she, so it's like, controls on your phones as well as the devices, and then you can just limit what they can do.
Yeah, there's content restrictions. If it's adult content online, they may not be able to view it, or you can see what websites they visit and stuff like that. It just gives you real peace of mind on a child's device.
Yeah,
for sure.
you can set time limits. So like if they can watch YouTube Kids for an hour or maybe 20 minutes, it's something that you don't have to actually go grab the phone. It'll just stop working after that time limit's hit.
And we have Apple, so when the girls were younger, I was able to set the control of how much screen time they could have, and then they'd have to request permission for more screen time, and typically it would be a no, or the chores didn't get done, or the homework, that kind of stuff. One of my favorite apps is Life 360, and what I love about this is so I can kind of keep track of what my girls are doing and where they are. And initially, Lauren, my youngest, was, this is a infringement upon my privacy person. And basically for me, it was kind of a peace of mind. Hannah goes to college 3.5 hours away. And so I just want to make sure she's getting up there okay, or, if she's driving safe, making smart choices. And then also, it's kind of funny, so back to the infringement of privacy, right? So I hadn't left work right away, and I was supposed to meet Lauren somewhere, and she looked on the app and saw that I was still at work, and she called, and she's like, "You're still at work?" And I go, "Are you infringing upon my privacy?"
On the other foot.
I know, it was so fun.
Life 360 also has cool features for like driving. Like if someone were to get in an accident, you can get notified. You can do request roadside assistance, dispatch like emergency, help if you need, stuff like that.
Yep. And Hannah has taken it to the next level. So she has a friend group up in Duluth, and they are all sharing their Life 360. So if they're somewhere, then they can kind of keep track of. Yep. And then I know that when they had gone to Mexico as a group, they did the same thing, so they could all keep an eye on each other, which I think is a great thing to have.
Yeah, it's a great. I mean, even for adults, it's awesome. For spouses or other adults, friends, family, it's always a good idea to have an idea of where people are. If people, are in trouble or something like that. It
even shows
tool.
Your phone what the battery is as well.
Yeah, so someone's battery died, you'll know why they stopped moving, kind of thing. Kind of helpful. So another thing we kind of want to highlight is just online safety for the kids then. So we talked about how to protect from visiting, bad websites, either bad websites or criminal websites. A lot of kids don't know better. We talk about pop-ups. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. A kid may see a pop-up that says, "Oh, I just want an iPad." Oh, great. They'll click on that. They might not know better. Click on that, and all of a sudden your computer or your cell phone is now compromised. So really educate your kids to not always kind of fall for the pop-ups and visiting good websites. Maybe monitor what kind of websites they're going on or put restrictions on there. We also talked, there are websites now you can share like music and share movies that are not technically legal. I'm not talking about like Spotify or Netflix. You can actually, download and share movies that are still in theaters and stuff like that. So kids don't think twice about some of that kind of stuff, but some of that can be illegal. Some of that can cause problems on your devices as well. So be aware of that. And a really big one we talk about is social media. Social media has a lot of great aspects of it. You can keep in touch with people. There's a lot of great stuff you can share, but it seems like younger and younger kids are getting access to social media. It's not always the best place for them to share information. I would just educate your kids that if you post something online, it's probably going to be online forever. I mean, you can delete something, but if someone else, took a picture of it, or some of that stuff's retrievable. So I would advise your kids, don't put anything you don't want everyone to see, because now you'll hear about, college applications, acceptance offices are looking into people's social media, scholarships, jobs. I got one of my best friends just had a job interview, and they made him show him all of their social media history that they had to review. So, like I said, be aware. If you put it online, everyone's probably going to have access to it.
I know that when I was a manager at one point and we would interview people, I would actually go on. I would Google.
I don't know why
their
you
names
wouldn't.
right. And comically, there was a situation where someone had called in, but then was friends on social media with people, and she was out making snow angels with her daughter at home. The other thing is digital footprints, I think, are really important. And like you were talking earlier, that is an impression of who you are your whole entire life out there. It doesn't go away. And we've known people that have had scholarships that have actually lost them because of not necessarily smart choices on the internet. One thing that I think is really important, if you guys do have Netflix, I've watched the documentary called The Social Dilemma.
I watched it too.
And it is amazing, and it's shocking to see how the market kind of brings you in.
Yeah. I mean, it's someone that worked for Facebook or some of these companies for a long, long time. So he kind of knows behind the scenes. Just like, social media can be awesome, but they're all about making money. They're trying to get you just beyond there, get addicted, basically, not always the safest place, especially for kids. Which brings me to my next point. This is for adults too, Randy. Not everything on the internet is true.
What?
Yes. So
Sorry to break it to you.
So nowadays you got TikTok's really big, now, and all these internet things.
He's researching that to see if it's accurate.
He's like, wait a
I'm going to ask
second.
the internet if that's true.
Exactly. So someone can post a 20-second TikTok video, and they can sound factual. They can throw out all these statistics. There's a very good chance that could all be a lie. So people just take stuff they read online for granted. Occasionally they'll see some celebrity died. There'll be someone posted, oh my gosh, so and so died, and then it starts to spread like wildfire. And then it's like you find out, okay, that was all made up. I mean, the internet's not always the best spot, for facts. So just be aware that something you read, maybe double check before you spread it or follow it wholeheartedly.
You're taking away half my show.
Yeah. Well, we try.
Yeah, and one of the other downsides, there's so many upsides to social media. One of the downsides is, cyberbullying has become a much, much bigger thing than it used to be. A lot of times bullying was in person. It was something someone could see, someone could hear. Now, unfortunately, you can have a kid that's getting bullied on social media, in their room, on their phone, and it's not done at the end of school. It's throughout the whole night, it's throughout the whole year. So that's something we just want people to be aware of, and talk to your kids about. Let them know if something happens like that, to let an adult know, a family member, a friend know. Just something to be aware of that, unfortunately, is something we have to deal with. But I think having that conversation is really important.
For sure.
Definitely. So personal information, everybody, make sure you talk to your kids about sharing personal information out there. Even if you take a picture and post something, driver's license, the car, license plates, your address.
Yeah,
kind
the front of your house.
live.
You may take an innocent photo of the front of your house, but it's got your house number on it and stuff like that.
In front of your school, anything like that, because that's just giving people that might not be positive.
Have the best interest.
Right.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on that, and also, make sure that your forms are okay when you're filling that information out. Make sure that it's secure. We're talking about avoiding sharing information in a public forum. You don't want to give away. So if you send an email, you don't want to give your social security number or your address of some kind. Don't put that out on social media, because it never goes away.
Yeah, briefly, we'd like to also highlight maybe taking a break from devices. Their blue light we get from all these screens that we're looking at all the time can be damaging to your eyes, and it's just not good to sit in front of a screen all the time. Mm-hmm.
A really good friend of mine was losing the battle with the devices, and she would come home and everybody would be on their phones gaming and computers.
Whatever,
and so
social media,
she was done. And basically, as a family, they decided that about an hour a night that they were going to be not doing anything on social media, and then they were playing games. It has really helped them as a family come together. And then really neat, she was coming home late, and she was extremely worried that they were going to be on their devices, and she came home, and they were actually playing a card game and hurry up, Mom, get home.
Yeah.
We're playing the next. So I thought that was really great.
Yeah, take a break, find a hobby that doesn't involve a screen. Always a good idea. And then, online gaming is another thing we were going to mention that, if your child is online, I online game, Bo online games. I mean, it's a cool tool. You can play with friends across the city, the state, the country, but you can also play with random people, strangers, and a lot of times there's vulgarity, there's issues with that, people being mean, especially with younger kids. So there are protections, there are settings you can change where they can't chat with strangers, some of that stuff. So just be aware of what your kids are doing and what they have access to. Like I said, we don't want to scare everybody. The internet's a great place. You can do a billion things now that we couldn't do before, but there is especially when you're talking about kids, be educated, make sure you know what your kids are out doing, make sure that they're educated to be aware of certain things for sure.
I know the Litchfield School System has some great information on their website too, if you wanted to check that out.
For sure.
Yeah, and if you have someone that in your family group or your friend group that would benefit from this, you can share these episodes. We have this posted on our Facebook page and on our YouTube page. So usually the next day you can find them, you can share this. You can also listen here live every Wednesday on KLFD at 10:30. And if you do have any questions on getting Vibrant or just any questions in general, you can call us at 693-3231.
And you can also visit our website for more Vibrant information. Just go to vibrantbroadband.com. You can get your daily dose of fiber, because who wouldn't want to be vibrant?
Who indeed?
So thank you, Randy. Thank you, KFD. Thank you, our audience. And I'm Jane.
I'm Nathan.
And I'm Bo.
So tune in next week for another Vibrant You Live.
Brilliant speed with vibrant service. Vibrant broadband internet. Vibrant broadband internet.